Welcome back. I'm still with Philip Kiszely from the New Culture Forum. Philip, a couple of days ago, old Keir Starmer's little human rights chum, Lord Richard Herman, insisted that the UK must stay in the ECHR to stop boat parts being sold to people smugglers. Wow, big deal. Yeah, let's stay in it. I don't want to talk about the ECHR now, except to point out no one has once properly explained to me one single benefit we get out of being in the ECHR. There is not a single thing we get out of being a member of this virtue signalling club. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the migrant crisis itself. Almost unnoticed, new figures reveal that an astonishing 674 foreigners crossed the Channel illegally on Tuesday. This after 1,097 came across on Saturday. 188 arrived overnight yesterday, and we don't know what today's total is, but they're coming and they're coming and they're coming. Now, at the beginning of August, we did the one-in, one-out deal as Keir and little mini Macron boasted about this amazing deterrent that would solve the crisis. That was August the 4th, I do believe. And since then, more than 5,500 migrants have come across the Channel illegally. So one in, one out. If you do the maths, folks, even I can work this out. It's actually 5,500 in, none out. Shabana Mahmood, the new Home Secretary, said the other day, the first deportation under the one in, one out scheme is imminent. Well, you better get on with it, Shabs, because we are in trouble here. Extraordinary figures emerged today that since 2018, the number of migrants that have crossed the Channel illegally broken into Britain now exceeds the number of men and women who serve in Britain's armed forces. It's something like 188,000. So more migrants have crossed the Channel and broken into Britain illegally since 2018 than we have people fighting for this country. That is extraordinary. The one in, one out scheme is a shambles. Of course, Shabana Mahmood won't leave the ECHR. Leaving the ECHR will not solve the crisis, but it is the crucial first step. If we don't leave the ECHR, we are doomed to tinker around the edges. Hence, Shabana Mahmood saying, well, if foreign countries don't take back their migrants, I might curb their visa allocations. All those countries going, big deal, who cares? Yeah, these are minor things. One in, one out is pathetic. It's clearly not only not working, it's comically ineffective, comically useless. On and on we go. This escalating crisis of thousands, hundreds of thousands of foreigners breaking into our country illegally, and us saying, oh, well, here's a 4-star hotel, here's 50 quid a week, oh, here's a free, free driving lessons, here's free food, free accommodation for as long as you like, and enjoy yourself. It's we don't have any deterrence, we have only enticements, only encouragements. This is another massive problem that Keir Starmer seems utterly incapable of even beginning to get to grips with.
Because they don't understand the source of the problem, okay? And we've talked on this show for many times. We understand it completely, and we've said on this show several times, you need to stop the benefits, okay? There needs to be no incentive for them to come over here, no incentive whatsoever. It's very simple, okay? And all of this stuff about, the boats and stopping the gangs and all of that kind of thing.
Smash the gangs, whatever happened to that?
it doesn't get to the heart of the problem, but the heart of the problem, as far as Keir Starmer is concerned, that he has a population now who are not only frightened but are extremely angry, and many of whom, me included, will be marching in London on Saturday to register our discontent about this government, about them clamping down on free speech, about the open borders, about all of that kind of stuff. Now, you made the comparison before, Kev, with the armed forces. And what
can I just give you the numbers there, just to prove I'm not talking out of my backside as usual. It is this on September the 7th, so a few days back. The number of migrants who've crossed the channel illegally since 2018 rose to 181,326. We have collectively in the Army, the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force 180,779 servicemen and servicewomen. So migrants beat the number of servicemen and women in this country. That's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is. It's incredibly shocking, but it's a really good comparison as well, because what we actually have here is an invading army, because they are all fighting age men. They are all fighting age men, and as you always correctly point out, they are all sexually active men as well. So this is a kind of a wave of unwanted males from primitive honor societies who are preying on our young women and children. And it's a kind of army, it's a kind of invasion. So it's a really good comparison. And this is why people are so fed up. People will be out, people will be marching. This is why people are flying flags. And it's just wonderful to see right across the country. The Operation Raise the Colours is just so wonderful. So the pushback against this is massive, but it comes back to the whole theme of what we've been talking about over the last hour or so. It's Keir Starmer's judgment is just nowhere. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no political nous, no sense of nuance. He doesn't know what's happening in the country, or if he does, he's just closing his eyes to it. And we are leading to catastrophe.
Exactly right. Shabana Mahmood says she will stop at nothing to solve this crisis. So that's gaslighting us. That's lying. There are so many things she will stop at rather than solve this crisis. She will stop at leaving the ECHR. She will stop at taking away their benefits. Germany now, Philip, is on the cusp of doing what I consider to be the most sensible move any nation can make. And that is, if you do break into our country, or for some reason we let you in, you're some kind of asylum seeker, don't expect us to pay your legal fees. You pay your own. So the most stupid thing we do, of all the things we give these people, free food, free accommodation, free driving lessons, free everything, the most stupid thing we give them is free legal fees. We pay their legal fees for them to hire lawyers to sue us for them to stay. And it's getting worse now, because we've got 200 migrants who broke into the country over the past year or so, who were sent to the Manston Airport Processing Centre in Kent. 200 of them. They are suing the government using lawyers that we, British taxpayers, pay for. They're suing the government for millions of pounds of compensation because they say they were detained in inhumane conditions. The insanity of this is off the bloody scale, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's self-defeating, and it represents the self-loathing aspect of our elites as well. The Britain hating, the anti-Western, and don't forget, half of the cabinet, especially the Foreign Secretary, is pro-Palestine as well. So there are so many problems here that they can't even begin to even think about, let alone sort out. And all the while, beneath it, pinning it down, is this chattering class stupidity of deifying the other just because the other person is not English, and absolutely hating, loathing and despising English people, especially white working class people. It always comes back down to that. It always comes back down to this petty hatred, this middle class nonsense. They really shouldn't be let out on their own.
Yeah, and this feeling that Our political elites, this government, the Westminster bubble gang, prioritise the needs and the wants and the desires of illegal immigrants, foreigners who come to this country illegally, over tax-paying, law-abiding British citizens, is reaching a crescendo. People are sick to death of seeing this, and yet it continues, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, at least the one good thing you can take from this is the fact that now the silent majority is beginning to speak. It's the G.K. Chesterton thing, isn't it? You know, Britain is beginning to speak. And once it does, once it moves, once we start marching, as we are doing, and as literally as we will be doing on Saturday, then things are going to change. But I'd say this to viewers, and I say it all the time, there is no point being the majority if you are silent, because you have no voice and you don't count. We do have to make ourselves count. We do have to stand up against all of this nonsense and hatred, because hatred is levelled at us. It's levelled against us. So we have to push back.
Brilliant, Philip. On that bombshell note, we will finish. Excellent stuff, though. Good luck on Saturday. Thank you so much for an excellent hour. Philip Kiszely there, the excellent representative of the New Culture Forum.